Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl in your face while you're sleeping. 10 strangest things discovered after tsunamis. Whoever said life is a mystery was not joking. There are so many strange things out here that can leave you wondering, what the heck did I just see? One of the oddest things about the ocean is actually discovered after a tsunami. In fact, a number of beach combers have reported stumbling across some of the strangest things in the world. Everything from strange creatures to strange objects have been discovered, showing just how powerful and catastrophic tsunamis can be. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the wild and weird world of post-tsunami and hurricane catastrophes. Stick around to the end because you won't believe what the craziest thing ever found was. It will either leave you laughing or questioning whether you're living in a simulation or not. Number 10. The mysterious blob. Temuka, a small town on the coast of New Zealand's South Island, was always a quiet place. At least it was until October 28, 2009, when a mysterious blob invaded the innocent isle after a mild tsunami engulfed the island. One of the residents, Rose Fraser, discovered the blob while walking on a beach. She was blown away by it. What the heck could this be? Could it be alien? Or maybe it was something straight out of a science fiction movie. For starters, it had a number of massive ribs coming out of it that seemed like tentacles, but once scientists were called to the scene, they later discovered that this strange anomaly was actually a sperm whale's rotting head. But what's even stranger is that the scientists were unable to find the rest of the sperm whale. Question is, what creature was big enough to consume an entire sperm whale? Number 9. Purple storm snails. Purple storm snails are some of the weirdest creatures on the planet. They are normally found on washed-up beaches after a tsunami. In fact, few people have actually seen purple storm snails in person. One of the reasons why is because they are paper thin and create kind of a bubble raft of clear chitin in order to remain afloat on the water's surface. They get their name from the fact that they are blown up to beaches after a very strong tsunami. You can imagine the sheer shock of coming across these strange creatures, especially if you never knew of their existence. One might think they've just entered the premise of a horror movie. Interestingly, despite all their strange appearance, purple storm snails are actually pretty harmless, though I don't think you could have the guts to pick one up if you found them. Number 8. MONTAUK monster. You simply can't talk about the strangest creatures washing up after tsunami without mentioning the MONTAUK monster. Ring a bell? Probably not. Well, let's see if we can refresh your memory. In July of 2008, the internet went berserk when a flurry of reports stated that a dead, ferocious-looking carcass was discovered in eastern Long Island, New York. While it had indeed died by the time it was washed up on the Ditch Plains beach after a raging storm, it is one of the most popular creatures in pop culture. As a matter of fact, it was immortalized in a memorial, albeit disturbing, painting by American artist and New York native Dan Lacey. Number 7. Headless creature. What could be more spooky washing ashore after a raging storm than a headless creature telling the story of an inconceivable murder deep in the ocean? In fact, the affair was so scary that Basil Park of McClears revealed to the press that he had never seen something as terrible as this in his life before. As a fisherman who had lived all his life on the shores of Canada's Newfoundland's Bay of Islands, not even one of his peers could make head or tails of what they were seeing. The weird headless creature in question was more than 15 feet long. Out of those 15 feet, 10 of them formed a tapered tail, and once the authorities collected the strange specimen, the Canadian Department of Fisheries and Oceans was unable to officially announce what it was they had found on the shore back in February of 2010. Which goes to show you that there's a lot more about the ocean that we don't know about. I mean, haven't marine biologists been saying for years that we're now just scratching the surface of the diverse marine life deep in the ocean depths? Now that really makes you wonder just what else could be out there. Number 6. Kivalina strain. Kivalina is a remote native island village found on the Chukchi Sea in the northwestern area of Alaska. You might not consider it as a prime location for an alien invasion, and yet that is exactly what went down on August 3rd, 2011. It was then that the unexpected occurred. After a raging storm engulfed the shores, something took over that was never seen before, appearing on the beach for literally miles. The first wave aliens rolled onto the isle. There were billions of them. And no, we're not talking about little green men from Mars, but tiny orange spores. They were determined to be a type of plant rust. Uh-oh. Wasn't the deadly pathogen in the Andromeda strain a fungal spore? Fortunately, that's not what it was, and the spore strain never harmed anyone. Number 5. Love letters. In late October 2012, Hurricane Sandy bore down on the coasts of New York and New Jersey, uprooting houses, shredding power lines, eroding beaches, and flooding roadways and subway platforms. A day after the storm struck, while walking alone on the beach in the Atlantic Highlands, a 14-year-old boy discovered a stack of letters tied together with pink ribbon. He took them home to his mom, Kathleen Mullen, who dried them out. As she began to read, she quickly realized they were love letters. Upon further research, Mullen learned the letters were written between 1942 and 1947 by Dorothy Fallon and Lynn Farham, while Lynn was stationed at Pearl Harbor. The couple married in 1948 after World War II ended and had 2 children. With the help of social media, Mullen discovered that Lynn had passed away in 1992 and that Dorothy was in poor health living in a nursing home at age 91, but she was able to return the letters to family members living in Virginia. The romantic story naturally made the media and public swoon. As the Atlantic Highlands Herald put it, even Superstorm Sandy could not take away the love that 2 people shared in the 1940s. Number 4. Harley-Davidson bike. When a tsunami hits, water travels very far inland and can reach very high levels. It does plenty of damage on its way inland, but on the way out it can cause just as much destruction. When it's on its way out, it also takes with it anything in its path and sucks it out into the deep sea. A while after the deadly tsunami of 2011 in Japan, this Harley-Davidson motorcycle washed up ashore in Canada. When these deadly waves bring items out of the ocean, there is no telling where they will end up. Possibly on the seafloor, or they may reach shore again. Number 3. The SALISH Sea Human Shoes. Some things are just spooky, okay? When it comes down to it all, they just don't seem to make any sense. And that's exactly what happened when SALISH Sea Human Shoes washed up on the shore after a thunderous storm. The shoes washed up on the northwestern coast of America and Canada. It is believed the shoes actually belonged to the people that had drowned and missing fishermen that were lost during the 2004 Asian tsunami. The shoes truly have a sad tale to tell. And now we've come to the best pick of the day. What would you do if you came across a shipwreck of this size and magnitude while making your way along the beach after tsunami? Would you freak out? I suppose so. And from the looks of things, this ship has been missing for more than 200 years. I shudder at the thought of all those poor souls on the ship crying as they counted their final moments before drowning in the vast ocean. Number 2. Tombstones. Moderate water temperatures, fierce winds, and rough waves make Ocean Beach in San Francisco the perfect spot to go kite surfing and skimboarding. But it's well suited to another activity as well: tombstone hunting. In 2014, gravestones with markers dating back to as far as 1890 appeared on Ocean Beach after a night of strong winds caused by large quantities of sand to shift. The tombstones, it turned out, are tied to a horrifying part of San Francisco history. In the early 20th century, as the city's population boomed, authorities closed most of the Chinese and Catholic and Jewish cemeteries to make room for housing developments. Tombstones were sent to the landfill, used to create backwaters and seawalls, or broken apart to line gutters. And some were dumped into the San Francisco Bay. Over the last few years, the gravestones have appeared and disappeared according to the weather. But don't worry if you happen to visit Ocean Beach and stumble upon a tombstone. When the bodies that once belonged to the stones were exhumed, they were relocated to Colma, a town located 503 miles north of Ocean Beach. Number 1. Rice cakes. Perranporth Beach, North Cornwall. In February 2017, a rowdy storm caused a small ship traveling between the United Kingdom and Ireland to lose 4 storage containers carrying IKEA furniture, power tools, boxes of wine, and 32 pallets of organic rice cakes. Given their light weight, the cakes quickly invaded the shores of the beach in North Cornwall, England. Luckily, Surfers Against Sewage, a marine conservation charity, arrived on the scene once the storm passed and discarded the plastic-bound packages of rice cakes. Unfortunately, the wine never made it ashore. Wonder which sea creature imbibed on these hellish delights. And with that being said, we've come to the end of the video. We truly hope you enjoyed the content, and don't forget to like and click on that notification bell to get more enriching videos. As always, thanks for watching.